Hello guys, my name is SUBA and welcome to another video of War Chest. This again will not be a league match, as you could have seen. It is something totally different, something totally new to us. As from the title you could have seen, it's a 3v3 gameplay of War Chest. First of all, the map is bigger. There needs to be more room for all of the players. There is a total of 18 possible claim spots on the map, and each team starts with 4 already starting claim spots. And the goal of the game, well, basically we played 2 games of 3v3 War Chest, where after the first game we slightly changed the rules of the game just to test it out to see how it would work. So stick until the end of the video to hear my honest opinion about the 3v3 gameplay. In this game, which you are watching, the goal is to claim 11 control points out of the 18. The first game that we played, the goal was to claim 10 control points, and the game ended, in our opinion, pretty quickly. It was too fast, and then we decided, hey, let's bump it up, let's add one more claim to the mission, to the victory goal. And that's how this gameplay was after that recorded. The beginning of the game, as you can see, was the draft. In the draft we were drafting, because there is 6 players and 6 times 3 is 18 different units in the game, which means we used all of the units from the base game plus the 2 extra units from the expansion, and the 2 units we didn't use were the ones that used proclaim, because we are not playing with the proclaims. These are basic standard rules. The only thing is the Royal Guard is the new rules. So we have Bannerman in play, and we will see how this game goes. The start of the game, well, because it's a bigger map, it is pretty much slow. Let's say slower at the beginning. We all need to deploy, move a few steps further. Basically, fast units have an opportunity to grab a few fast claims before they engage with the enemy. The first blood in this game happened at around 20 minutes mark, and that was just because, well, I'm playing, my partner Mirko is playing. Well, Mirko made a mistake, and that's why he died. If he wouldn't have died, the first blood would happen much more later in the game. Also, all of the players, most of the players basically are experienced players. They're playing in the league. One player here was a new player who maybe played the game once, and like a few months ago. So we also have had an opinion of somebody who doesn't really understand, high level strategies of the game. So we have multiple different opinions of the 3v3 match. Basically, once we started clashing with each other, it was like a huge battlefield. It was so chaotic. There were at least 4 different battles going on at the same time for 4 different claim spots. in the game, and you are probably, you know, playing with one unit actively, so it was pretty hard to control all of the 4 battlefields. But it was chaos, so at one point you had, as you can see, 18 units on the map. That's 18 different, not counting somebody, if somebody deployed the footmen, the 2 footmen, and not counting the control points that you need to look at and all of the other stuff. So there was a lot of stuff on the map. It was really colorful, and you could have been attacked and engaged from any side. All of the units came into play. What I noticed, Ensign and Marshal might have a bigger role here, because the player controlling the Ensign and the Marshal is attacking 2 players, not as in 2v2 1 player, so he's attacking 2 players that you can make a strategy out of. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Their team had the Ensign and the Marshal, so one player moved third player's unit with the Ensign, and the second player attacked with that third player's unit with the Marshal. So yeah, there were some strategies seen here that you cannot see in 2v2 gameplay. Also, units like Lancer, you know, were kind of cool in this match, because it's a bigger map, they can strike from a distance, they like this. A few units, faster units, were good at start, but later on, when there was a crowded space, they really couldn't move. What we noticed, that there were walls of units being built, and it was hard to pass through a wall of friendly units or enemy units. So, because there's like 18 units on the map. Berserker, for an example, in both matches activated like once, because he was in the back lines, he couldn't move through his own units. Also, right here, as you can see, is the second part of the video where the camera lost its memory and we needed to start recording again the same match, so there is a little pause. Basically, the first game lasted for like an hour, and after half an hour of going to combat, it ended pretty fast without any major battles, when we had to take 10 claim spots, and when we had to take 11 claim spots, we also reached the number 10 pretty quickly without any fights. But then for the 11th claim spot, it took too long to claim, and the other team managed to spin it around. Basically, the game lasted more than 2 hours. Pretty exhausting. It was pretty exhausting for me to play one game for 2 hours where there is so much things going on. It was like an all-out war, and the conclusion is we need to change some rules a bit. You know, we need something to make the game have more sense. It is playable. This was our first game. We are gonna try to think of some ideas. Would I recommend this, that you go do it yourself? Well, you can go and try it, but 2v2 is how basically the game is working perfectly now. 1v1 is, you know, just let's have some fun, let's try some units, let's try some strategies, a quick game. The 2v2 is somewhere in the middle, while 3v3 you can either go to, you know, to forever, you know, it can last to infinity, or it can end up pretty quickly, depending on how much claim spots you agreed to take on. I tried 6 different units because I played 2 games, and I noticed which units were good in this scenario, which units were bad. So it is a bit different to 2v2 in that regard. All of the other players, even the new guy, they kind of agree on that, you know, that there is too much going on. There's, like, as I said, too much going on, so that you can defend on all sides, that you can attack on all sides. You know, if you're playing with one unit, as the game is mostly being played, it's a big map to be played with one unit. So yeah, my honest opinion is, after we maybe make some rule changes, it might be playable, maybe make a map a bit more different, but this was either too short or too long, where sometimes you had no control of what was going on some parts of the map. So as you can see, there's a lot of shiny units on the board, or all clustered up in the middle. We had this rule, but we didn't actually play with it because at the end we saw it really doesn't make sense, that there was like central places on the map that if you want to win you need to control at least one of them. Well, in all cases, both teams always controlled one of the two spaces, so that rule was to balance the fast units. But it really didn't matter. The fast units were maybe useful at start, but still not useful at the end of the game. I played with an archer. Archer was quite good. Also Lancer. The range units, I like them. I played with Ensign one game. Ensign was so OP. Also, I played with Warrior Priest, and not much. I didn't do much with Warrior Priest. I managed to maybe claim 1 or 2 spots and get those 2 extra moves. As I said, the Berserker is quite slow in this game. Activates once. The bird, the scout is. I didn't play with the scout, but I noticed it's really strong, because it's a deep map, and if he goes deep with the scout, he gains a lot in this game. So we're basically coming to the end of the match, and we will keep you posted on the things that we think of, the strategies we think of. Here the last claim is just about to be gained, so basically we did have a winner. We did end after more than 2 hours of gameplay. Was it fun? Yes. Would I play it again? Maybe with different rules. So yeah, thank you for watching, and bye bye.